Did you feel that Bill Clinton was in love with you?
There were times I did.
What made you feel that way?
It was the way he looked at me and the way he held me and the way he touched me. I think you feel that warmth with someone.
What kinds of things did he say to you that made you feel this was not just sex?
First of all, I think one of the things that people have not been able to look at in this past year is if they looked at this and said, this is about a man and a woman and not the president and the intern. He was very tender with me. He was very affectionate.
You say that you cried and the president cried. When did the president cry?
I know people make fun of him for having said, I feel your pain, but I think he genuinely means it. The first time that I remember was when he talked about the first loss of the American soldier in Bosnia and how responsible he felt for that. So there was the time when I asked him to clarify the relationship, whether it was, you know, only for sexual reasons or not early on, and he got upset at the notion that I might even think that, and tears came to his eyes. He cried when he broke up with me on May 24th. It was an intense relationship, at least that was how I saw it.
Why do you think he needed you?
I would imagine that it is very difficult to be the President of the United States. I would imagine that you have a tremendous, tremendous amount of pressure. And that sometimes you just need a piece of normalcy.
Can't you get that from your wife?
Sure you can.
But?
That's something for him to answer, not me. I'm sorry.
As it turns out, Bill Clinton was not Monica's only relationship during this period. And there is a startling revelation that she has kept secret all this time. We will hear more about that when we come back. There was a 10-month period when you never had the chance to be alone with Bill Clinton. But you did have another man in your life.
Continues. And now, Barbara Walters.
The big questions remain. Why did Monica Lewinsky ever confide in Linda Tripp? Why didn't Monica's mother try to break up her daughter's relationship with Bill Clinton? And why did Monica continue to stay in the relationship when the president didn't seem to want her? All in all, it was getting to be a difficult time for Monica. And for the first time tonight, you will hear a startling revelation, one of the few secrets Monica has been able to keep until now. Now, when you were at the Pentagon, there was a 10-month period when you never had the chance to be alone with Bill Clinton. But you did have another man in your life. Yes. You emailed a friend that you had a sexual relationship with an older single man named Thomas, who worked at the Pentagon. How did you feel about Thomas?
When I first met Thomas, I thought he was a brilliant, exciting man, and I enjoyed his company, and I had feelings for him, but not very strong feelings.
Did the president know that you were seeing other men?
Yes. I'd tease him about it and tell him he had competition.
There is a revelation in the new book about you that concerns this relationship with Thomas.
I think it's a very sensitive subject for a lot of people, and I think it's such a hot button for people that...
Monica was clearly uncomfortable discussing the subject during our interview, but in the Andrew Morton book, Monica's Story, she reveals that during her affair with Thomas, she became pregnant, she had an abortion, and it so upset her that she began therapy. Still in love with Bill Clinton, she says, she never told him about the pregnancy. At the best of times, you would see Bill Clinton for brief encounters. Weeks, sometimes months would go by without your seeing him. Twice he tried to break up with you. I mean, after being treated that way, why didn't you walk away?
I wanted to, a lot of times.
Where was your self-respect? Where was your self-esteem?
I don't have the feelings of self-worth that a woman should have. And that's hard for me, and I think that's been a center of a lot of my mistakes and a lot of my pain.
When the Linda Tripp tapes were released, there was one in which you were sobbing uncontrollably. I'll let you listen to it.
I was upset. I'm just not like I am now. I can't take it anymore.
I know.
I just can't.
Oh my God.
It's too much for one person.
Oh, it is too much for one person. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Do you remember what made you feel that way?
I think it was a time when I was very frustrated with the president and with Betty Currie.
Tough days. During this time, Monica began to confide in a Pentagon co-worker, Linda Tripp, who had also previously worked at the White House. Tripp was known to gossip about the president and about goings-on at the White House. How did it come about in the first place that you began to confide in Linda Tripp?
This is actually something that I don't think people have really understood in this past year, and it's important to understand it. I had met Linda Tripp from in working at the Pentagon. I think when I found out that she had worked at the White House, it was sort of, that was an attraction for me. That was clearly where I was longing to be, and was hoping and thinking I was going to go back to. She would say things to me like, oh, you're just the type of girl the president would like, and you should think about going back to the White House. I bet you could have an affair with him. And it was after the election, and I saw her in the cafeteria, and I thought, oh God, if she says to me one more time, now you can go back to the White House. Now the election's over. This is it. This is your time. Here I am. I am dying inside from the loss of the relationship. And finally I said, look, I had a relationship with him and it's over. So you don't need to be thinking this is going to happen again.
And the floodgates opened from then on.
Yes.
Yeah. You had also told other people, you told 10 other people that you had this relationship with the president. I mean, big mouth. Why did you want people to know?
I trusted my girlfriends implicitly, and I think that's the kind of relationship that I have with my close friends. I mean, and I guess probably the biggest piece of evidence that I looked at Bill Clinton as more of a man than as a president was that I talked about him as I would any other guy. Listen to the message he left. He's so cute. This is what he did. This is what happened. What should I wear?
Did you ever tell the president that you told other people?
No. In fact, the opposite. I told him that I didn't tell anybody.
But Monica's mother was also in on the secret and was worried about her daughter's fragile state of mind. To this day, they have a very close and loving relationship. But what is not clear is how much the mother actually knew about her daughter's affair with the president.
My mom knew that I was involved with him, not, I think necessarily, I don't think she understood it to be in such a sexual way that it was. I clearly did not discuss details of that relationship with my mom. We have an amazing relationship, and she has been misportrayed almost worse than I have in some ways, and it has been very painful for me. She is a very wonderful mom and a good woman, and I think anybody who watches this interview and says to themselves, gee, Monica's different from how she's been portrayed for a year, well, the same goes for my mom.
I know it's very hard for a mother to say to a daughter, you can't do this. But did your mother try to break off this relationship with you?
Yes. Yes, she did. But anyone who knows me well knows that I'm stubborn. And from the time I was 2 years old, one of my first phrases was with my hands on my hips, you are not the boss of me. And I've been that way ever since.
When we come back, the infamous blue dress, the item that finally proved to the world that Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky indeed had an intimate relationship. Why did Monica keep it? What many people find disgusting is that you didn't just take this dress and send it out to be dry cleaned.